Yes, so to answer your first question, I am in my car. It is, let me check, 6:06 p.m. and I'm at the park and I came here to watch the sunset. But I came here and I was already feeling exhausted from work, but I was like, no. Even though I'm working like 9 or 10 days in a row and I have no time to myself, I am going to go do something for me. I'm going to go to the park, I'm going to watch the sunset, it's going to feel amazing, and it's going to be great. Well, I came, and as life always goes, sometimes things just don't feel good, even though most of the time they do. There were like mosquitoes flying all around me, and I don't know if you know this about me, but I have like a pretty intense fear of bugs and spiders, and especially mosquitoes. Oh my god, they gross me out so much. Like, when they land on me, I get so grossed out, like, I can't do it. But, like, other than that, I was really trying to enjoy the evening. I was like, whatever, bugs aside, this is gonna be great. And then, all of a sudden, I hear all this yelling from, like, probably 50 feet away from me, and just really obnoxious people just, like, screaming and howling and like, barking at each other, and I'm just like, what are you doing? So I'm listening to them, and I'm trying to figure out, like, what they're talking about, what's happening, and they just keep repeating stuff like, oh, it's a big one, oh, I wish I had a scale, oh my god, take the picture, he's floundering around. And all of a sudden it hit me that they had probably just killed a fish, and they're probably taking pictures with it. And I couldn't see them because it was blocked by some of the sailboats, but I refused to look over, and the thought of them with the fish, a dead fish, and spending their evening fishing and not realizing how terrible it is, gave me so much anxiety that, like, my heart started racing really quickly, and I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I was like, I don't like this, I don't like this. Even then, I was like, Jamie, enjoy the night, do not let your anxiety take over. And then out of nowhere, this woman comes with a family and a baby, and they're doing a photo shoot at sunset, and I was like, oh, this is adorable. Then they were talking super loud, and I was like trying to relax, and then the baby started crying, and it was just like too much. So even though it's 6:07 and I came here to watch the sunset, and that was my only intention, it hasn't panned out how I thought it would pan out. And so now, instead of watching the sunset, I'm sitting in my car in the corner of the parking lot trying to kind of bring down the anxiety levels. Now, while a lot of you are going to understand how I feel right now and how this anxiety can just almost come out of nowhere for things that seem really minute and minimal to most people, I know at the same time that many others will not understand. But that's the thing with self-love and with trying to build yourself back up from a bad place or a place of less self-confidence, less happiness, worse relationships. Building yourself up takes time, and what works for one person may not work for the next just as much as what works for you one week may not work the next. I came to the park and watched the sunset by myself a couple weeks ago, and it was like the best thing ever. I came and I read and I listened to good music, and it was super chilled out, and the sunset was beautiful, and I had an amazing time on my own. But then sometimes you do the exact same thing you did before, and you come and you feel exhausted and you have a headache, and you're coming down from a coffee high, from a caffeine rush, and you're thinking about work more than you usually do, and you don't really understand why because you work at a grocery store, and you feel the weight of like every decision you've ever made and every friend you've ever lost and every bad thing you've ever said. And you know, I'm spiraling a little bit, but my whole point is that sometimes, even if you're doing something that objectively you could find yourself really loving doing, you just don't. And I guess my whole point of making this quick little video is just to say that I do feel a little crappy tonight, and I had a fantastic day. I was at work all day, and I was having a good time, and I was accomplishing a lot of things, like checking off a lot of my to-do list stuff, and then after work I like ran some errands, and I felt like I was still having a really good time by myself. I was like, wow, this is like really fun, like go me, living my life, being cool. And then I came here to like finish the night off on a good note, and things just went a little south in my mental little brain. But you'll hear me say this a million times, self-love is self-acceptance. Self-love is understanding that you can go from feeling fantastic to feeling not so great in the same day. Self-love is not seeking to validate yourself purely by the validations of others. Self-love can be brutal sometimes, it can be confusing. You might feel like you have no idea what you're doing, but I felt the same way when I first began this journey 2 years ago as I feel now, which is that I need to nurture and care for myself as I would for a sick friend, or a lonely friend, or a lonely family member. You genuinely do need to look after yourself more than anyone else. And if you ever have those feelings where you're like, why am I all of a sudden sad? I don't understand this. I thought I was having a great day. Just know that you are not alone. Everyone experiences it. I experience it. I have gone through a lot this year, and I still am going through a lot, and I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between what makes it better, what's therapeutic, and no matter where you are in your self-love journey, whether you're just beginning it, you're somewhere in the middle, or you feel like you've kind of accomplished it and you're at the very end and nothing can go wrong, just understand that I love you, I validate you, and I appreciate you at whatever step of this journey you are on. So I am going to drive home. I'm going to listen to some good music. I'm going to drink some water. And then I'm gonna go to bed, maybe watch a little bit of TV, and I'm just gonna let my body recover and feel good and just, you know, cope. I don't ever want to come across as if I'm happy or bubbly all the time, and I think I've done a fairly good job of that on this channel, but if you ever weren't sure, yes, I feel shitty. Sometimes, a lot of the time, it varies. In the process of learning to seek validation only from yourself and from inside of you, you truly learn how much of you is reflected from other people. And so as a result, your moods can shift wildly depending on who you're surrounded with or who you're not surrounded with. This is getting pretty rambly at this point. That's kind of been the theme of the whole video, but I hope you guys enjoyed this little chat from my car. This is kind of like a bonus video of the week just because I had more time to film. Like, yes, I was working more, but I felt more inspired to film this week, so here you go, this is for you! I hope you have a wonderful weekend wherever you find yourself in the world, and that you at least try to do something that will make you feel better about yourself, and if you can't do something for yourself, try to do something for someone else. Try to make someone else smile, try to lift someone else's spirits. You never know how much happier you can make someone by sending a text or commenting on their outfit or their new haircut or anything like that. I love you guys so much, and yes. Have a wonderful day. Bye.